Fantasy, fantasy. It's time for fantasy.
The Plot Malaysia.
Hello, welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is our 72nd episode. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans.
Woohoo! Oh my God, it is time to talk about your fantasy team. Over to you, Harry.
Yeah, man, Ram, listen. I mean, like I said, man, I think the last show we did, we were 7 days away or 8 days away from the Premier League, start of the Premier League season. We're now, I think it's 4 days away from the start of the Premiership season. The first game being Brentford against Arsenal. Oh my God, man. Time's flown by, but I just can't wait for the start of the Premier League, dude. It's back. It's back with a bang, guys.
Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Absolutely can't wait.
Yeah, it's the end of the depressive season, summer season. It's now the real action. The real football action is about to begin. And we thought we have to do a show on our fantasy Premier League team. So just like you guys out there, we also are participating in the fantasy Premier League this time around. And we have put our teams together. So we want to share our views, share our teams as well. And hopefully give some of you guys some tips out there. Or maybe you can give us some tips.
Yep, I think for me, I'm like I just broke my fantasy football virginity. I think it's my very first time participating in fantasy football. So I'm looking forward to it, Harry. Let's do this.
Awesome. I've done it for a number of years now. Never really done brilliantly, but well, guys, I think I've got a winning team this time, at least for the first match day. I know people who are experienced with fantasy will tell you that as it goes along, you will make changes to your team. The first week is really a difficult one to gauge by, but I've put my team together and I think it's better than yours, Ram, but I haven't even seen your team. I think it's better than your team, but guys, let us know what you think of my team. Here is my team.
Harry, take it away, man. Let's see what you have for us.
Right on. So,
okay,
I've gone with a pretty cool team in my opinion, but this is the team I've gone with for the first match day or first week match day, guys. I've gone with a team that I think is strong in the attack. So I've gone with a 3-4-3, which is normally the formation I go with as well. With fantasy football on a yearly basis, I find it the most beneficial to me. Again, like I said, depends to you guys out there. But this is a team I've gone for. It's a 3-4-3, Ram. I have gone with defenders who I think can keep a clean sheet, but also can add assists going forward, which is how they get scored. So let me start with my team and let me know what you think as well, Ram. But what I've gone with is I've gone with Emi Martinez, who's the goalkeeper for Aston Villa. Had a sensational first season with Villa last year. Had a brilliant Copa America with Argentina as well. Was the star of the show along with Messi. So I've gone with Emi Martinez. He's about 5.5, which is what he costs on Fantasy League. And I thought that was a good price for a keeper that I fancy will keep quite a lot of clean sheets behind a pretty good Aston Villa defense and Aston Villa team in general. Now in defense, my three defenders in the starting lineup, I've gone with Reece James as the right of the three. Now, the reason I've gone with Reece James, again, James is about 5.5. In my opinion, it's probably in the higher end. But what James adds is he plays for a Chelsea team that is star-studded. And I'll show you guys the fixtures in a while. But Chelsea have got, I feel, a relatively not too hard match coming up. So that's the reason why I've gone for Reece James on the right, because I think he'll keep a clean sheet. And I also think he's going to add a lot going forward. James gets a lot of assists. He drives forward as a
good choice. Good choice, Reece James.
The only concern I have here, and I'll be very upfront, is because Reece James has come back late from England in the Euros, and I don't know if he's going to start. So that's something I might have to ponder over the next 1 or 2 days. Now, in center of defense, I've gone with Ruben Diaz for Man City. Again, simple reason. City have got a tougher game, actually, this weekend. Their start is quite tough. They've got Spurs away. We don't know if Harry Kane, which side of the divide Harry Kane is going to be on. But again, I just feel with City and Diaz, they will keep a lot of clean sheets because they keep the ball a lot. He's expensive. He's not cheap. He's at 6, but I've gone for Diaz because I know I can bank on him to keep clean sheets across the season, really. So I've gone with Diaz. Now, this one is going to surprise a lot of people, but for the price he's at, it was an absolute no-brainer for me to go with Kostas Tsimikas. I think he's about 4.5 on fantasy. The reason I've gone for him is Andy Robertson is injured for the next 4 to 6 weeks. He picked up an injury in the preseason game a couple of days ago against Athletic Bilbao. So he's out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Tsimikas is likely to take his place. Now, Tsimikas was signed last year, guys. And guys who are familiar with Liverpool fans out there, you'll know Tsimikas barely played last year. I think he didn't even start a single Premier League game. He had about 6 or 10 minutes in the league altogether. The issue, according to Liverpool coaches, was he was struggling to adapt to Jurgen Klopp's tactics. But in preseason, he's adapted to it brilliantly. And I've watched preseason games where he's been unplayable. He looks like a Robertson clone. He's brilliant as a left back, going forward especially. He's got a lot of pace, very tenacious. He actually has a delivery, and maybe a bit controversial here, but his delivery from wide is as good as or maybe even better than Robertson, in my opinion. He's picked up 2 or 3 assists in preseason.
That's controversial, but good.
He's probably not as strong as Robertson defensively, which is why Robertson is the better player and the starter. But with Robertson out injured and the price that he's at and what I've seen of Tsimikas, I think he's going to be brilliant and he's going to get assists for me. So that's why I've gone for Kostas Tsimikas. Now, in midfield, I've gone for a 4 in the middle of the park. I've gone with Ismaila Sarr. On the left, Ismaila Sarr, if you guys know, he plays for Watford. He played in the Premier League a couple of seasons, the season before last, the Premier League, and he was good. Liverpool were after him at one point. I think United were after him as well. He then went down to the Championship with Watford, and I think he had like 16 assists or something like that, scored a ton of goals as well. He's a star. This guy is an absolute star, the Senegal player. He's got lots of pace, very tricky, gets goals and assists. And I think Watford are playing Villa, actually. I think they're playing either West Ham or Villa. I think they're playing Villa, actually, this weekend. Maybe I've got it wrong. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure, actually, who they're playing. But I think he's a good player, Sarr, and I think he'll get goals. So he's a player I'm going with as well. And again, in terms of price, he's at about, Ismaila Sarr is at about 6. So for me, good deal in midfield. The rest of the midfield, I've gone with Harvey Barnes from Leicester.
Oh, that's a good pick, actually.
Actually, he's brilliant, man, Ram. I think you saw him in the Community Shield, but also last year he was brilliant. He's still young. He was brilliant last year until he got injured.
Now, what surprised me about him is he came back after injury and still performed.
Exactly, he was out for quite a while, and he's come back as if he's come back stronger. Actually, he was man of the match, I think, in the Community Shield. He's brilliant going forward. He's good with the ball. He drives into the box. He'll score goals because he gets into the box. His movement is good. And I think he's going to be a star for Leicester this year. So I've gone with Harvey Barnes. Again, in terms of a deal, I think 7 is a good price for someone like Harvey Barnes. I think his price will pick up as the season goes along. So that's why I've gone for Harvey Barnes. And then I've gone for Son Heung-min. I think no surprise here. Harry Kane.
No surprises.
Harry Kane, I mean, there's a chance he's probably going to move on. Who's the star of this team if Harry Kane goes? It's Son Heung-min. In preseason, he's had a good preseason as well. I think he's got goals in preseason. He's just going to get goals, assists. He's now the main marksman for Spurs as well. And I think the team is going to be built around him, no longer Harry Kane. So if Harry Kane moves. So in my opinion, this was a no-brainer. He's not cheap. Son is about 10, but I think he'll get consistent goals and assists through the season. And then my man, Mo Salah. Mo Salah running down the wing. Salah, 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 the Egyptian king. Now, Mo Salah, guys, I think is a no-brainer as well because he's finished in his 4 seasons at Liverpool. Twice he's finished Golden Boot winner. The other 2, he missed out the Golden Boot by 1 goal. He's always into the 20 goals a season. He will consistently get goals. He's also my captain in this team because he'll get goals consistently through the season, in my opinion. Liverpool's first game is Norwich away, so I expect him to score. The other thing I like about Salah, he's not cheap, by the way, guys. He's 12.5. But what I like about him as well is he gets assists, he gets goals consistently, and he takes penalties for Liverpool. So the good thing is whenever we get penalties, he'll be on penalty duty, so he'll score goals as well. So again, that's why I went for Mo Salah. Now my front 3, guys. I've gone with the front 3. I was debating whether to go with the 5 in midfield and 2 up front, but in the end, I opted for 4 in midfield and 3 up front. This will surprise you. So there are no Man City players here because I think Man City really, in the forward line in Fantasy Premier League, they only have Gabriel Jesus, and I'm not a big fan of Jesus. Chelsea currently, Lukaku hasn't been signed yet. So Werner, for me, doesn't score goals.
Werner scores offside goals.
Yeah, he's always offside, isn't he? So I was debating this. I could have gone with Bobby Firmino, but he's at 9. I think it's expensive. So what I've gone for is Danny Ings up front for Aston Villa. He's just moved to Aston Villa for £30 million. Aston Villa have sold Jack Grealish, but they have invested so well. They have got Emiliano Buendia in midfield, the Argentine, who's a brilliant assist maker. He'll make a lot of goals. They also signed Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey is actually on my bench as well. Brilliant right winger. So I think he will actually get more goals created for him than even when he was at Southampton. There'll be a lot more chances created, and he's a top marksman when he gets chances, Danny Ings. So I fancy him to score goals, which is why I've gone with Danny Ings. And also for the price he's at 8, I thought it was a no-brainer because I think he'll score goals and lots of goals for Villa. I then went with, on the right of the 3, you can say, I then went with Toney, Ivan Toney. Now, Ivan Toney, guys, will not be very familiar, but he plays for Brentford, who have just come up from the Championship. He's very
cheap. An exciting team.
Yes, he's 6.5. And Aram, you called it correctly. They're a very exciting team. They're a very exciting, attacking-minded team. Flair and attack. And their first game is at home against Arsenal. Now, at home, your first time back in the Premier League, pretty much. Their fans are going to be pumped up for it. The team is going to attack and really go for it. And this guy scored a ton of goals in the Championship last year. I think he scored like 30 or 31 goals in the Championship last year. So for me, they will create chances. And if they create chances, he will score goals. And Arsenal, well, I still don't trust them as a team in the back line. So for me, I think this guy will start off on a bang in the Premier League this weekend. So I've gone for Toney. And at that price, again, a no-brainer for me. Now, on the left, I've gone with Kelechi Iheanacho of Leicester. The man who
scored in the Community Shield.
Yes, he scored in the Community Shield. Now, what made me go for him, Ram? I got a surprise when I saw what he cost. He cost 7.5, which I thought was dirt cheap for him. If you remember at the second half of last season, he was a top scorer for Leicester. He scored more goals than Vardy. Every game, pretty much, he was scoring goals. He was scoring goals in every game, pretty much. I think he's red hot right now. He scored in the Community Shield again. I think he's hot. His confidence is sky high. He's on form. He will keep getting played.
He's a match winner.
He's a match winner. The other thing I like about Kelechi Iheanacho also is he also now is a penalty taker for the team. I think if Vardy is not on the pitch, he takes penalties. He scored again in a Community Shield. So, and I think Vardy this season will be rested a bit more. He'll be rotated with Patson Daka. So I think he will get more penalties to score as well, Iheanacho. And I think he's red hot, form-wise. His confidence is sky high. For me, for that price, he was a no-brainer. So I went with Kelechi Iheanacho. So that's my team, Ram. I hope you like it. I thought it was a good
it's very attacking minded. I can see. There's a lot of flair going up forward. I think with Son and Salah, combining, I think it's going to be very deadly. It looks good. And of course, Sarr is an exciting player to watch because I did like the way he plays as well. So I must say, wow, your team is looking good, man. You're giving me something to think about.
I do like this team. I probably might have to make changes as we go along in the league, of course. But to start this weekend, I thought this was a good team to start it off. So that's why I went for this. On the bench, very quickly, I went with Sanchez from Brighton as a goalkeeper, Leon Bailey, Aston Villa. I then went with Vladimir Kufal from West Ham. And I also have Ayer for Brentford, who's a defender they bought from Celtic, I think, on the bench as well. So that's my team, Ram. I hope you like it, guys. Let me know your thoughts. But, Ram, let's move on to your team, man. Let's talk about your team.
Well, of course, yes, this is my team, guys. There are a few things that I have to look into, of course. Try to look in the next couple of days to see if there's any changes need to be made. But as of now, this is my team. So I'm going with a 4-4-2, Hari.
Okay.
as you can see, because that's my all-time favorite formation. I think this formation will be a bit more versatile. As you can see, the players that could actually change and switch from time to time to accommodate to the situation. So what I wanted to do for my team was I wanted to play, a team that has a very good defensive shape.
Yep.
That was the idea that I picked. Of course, my goalkeeper, David De Gea, ever loyal to David De Gea. Of course, I trust him. I think he's absolutely fantastic. He's going to come back in the season rocking it. So that's David De Gea in goal. On the right hand side, Harry, you're going to be very, very happy with me because I chose Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, of
Let me just
course,
very quickly jump in here, Ram. I was about to
yeah.
take Trent, but I think you're going to cover this now. He's not cheap, man.
Yeah, he's not cheap. David De Gea, sorry, he was about 5 million. So I thought, okay, well, yes, I'm gonna go back with him. Trent was about, honestly, bro. Trent on fantasy football is only 7.5.
Yep.
You know, seven point
For
five
for
million.
for,
So
for a defender, for a defender, it's expensive. But yeah, I get your point, man. He gets lots of
yeah,
assists. Trent, he gets
yeah,
lots of assists. I was going to go for him, but I wanted to create a bit more balance in my attack and have a bit more uh, to save for my attacker. So that's why I didn't
yep.
go with Trent. I went with Simicast. Yeah,
Well,
but great choice, great choice.
thank you so much. I'm sure you're very, very happy. Yes, Trent Alexander-Arnold for me. In the center of the park is one of your substitutes, Harry Vladimir Sufal. Now, of course, in West Ham, he has shown great class. In the Euros with Czech Republic, he has also shown what he can do. He's brilliant on the ball. He's good in defense. So rock solid defender. No question about why I picked him. So yes, Vladimir Sufal, I got it for 5 million on fantasy
Okay.
football. So that's pretty decent.
Yep.
John Stones, because he has been rock solid for England in the Euros. Of course, I don't really watch much of Man City games. I really don't like watching their games, but watching him play for England has
Yeah.
shown that he's absolute class as well. So he was about 5.5 million, rock solid, a good partner with Sufal. They're going to be able to, stop a lot of attacking players to come in. And of course, down the left, I have to go with Luke Shaw
Yep.
because he is, to me, in my opinion, I'm not sure whether you agree with me, Harry. I'm not sure every one of you will agree with me, but I think he was the best left back last season. Performed really well, created a lot of assists. There's no reason why I should leave him out. So he cost about 5.5 as well, which I'm quite surprised actually. I thought he was going to be going for more, but 5.5 million for Luke
That's a good
Shaw.
pick. Yep. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to move forward to
The one
yeah.
thing I'll very quickly say, Ram, is with that defense, you've got two English boys there, John Stones, Luke Shaw, brilliant players. I just don't know if they'll start this weekend, man, because I think they all just came back from their from their breaks, right? So I don't know if they will start for the respective teams. You will know better for Luke Shaw, but that's the only concern. If not, that's a good back line.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah. I mean, as of now, I do feel confident they will start. But of
Hmm.
course, the next coming of days, I will use one of my substitutes just in case if they
All
do
right.
not start. So as of now, this is my starting lineup. Moving on to the midfield, of course, Bruno Fernandes. How can I leave him out? My favorite player for United last season, obviously. The best player. He's able to dribble. He's able to make good passes. But he didn't come very cheap though. To be very honest with you, he was 12 million. You know, so yes, that was I decided to spend a lot in the midfield. So I wanted to get someone that was able to be trusted, able to move the ball, make good passes, and of course scores a lot of goals. So yes, Bruno Fernandes definitely. Thomas Suchek impressed me a lot. In the Euros, I love the way how he's supporting the back four. I mean, he plays something like a Matic, if you like, but I
Yep.
think he has a bit more height to offer. He has a bit
He's a
more
bit more mobility as well. He's more mobile as well,
bit
right?
more
Yep.
mobility. Yes, absolutely. So I think I would definitely want him to be in my team because he can win the ball easily. Ball control is really, really good, and his link up play is superb, as we saw him in the Euros. So that's why I like Thomas Suchek, and he was for 6 million. So yeah, a bit on the up there, but it's okay. It's fine. On the right hand side, Ward Prowse. Now I am aware that he could have been injured. Okay, and they were saying that you don't know whether he's going to start, but I am also very confident that he will, because he's been absolutely brilliant, for Southampton last season, scoring lots of free kicks. Every time there's a dead ball situation, 9 out of 10 times he's going to score. Okay. And I got him for 6.5
I,
million.
I,
So
I actually really like that shout, Ward Prowse, because yes, you're right. He takes set pieces for Southampton, right? Free kicks, he scores a
yep,
ton of free kicks. He also takes corners and his deliveries are brilliant. So he'll get
yep,
assists as well. So good choice, I think,
yep.
that one. For that price, yeah, great choice.
Thank you. And I think yes, corner, as you're right. His corner kicks are amazing. He can even score from a corner if you want.
Yes, yes, yes,
you
yes, he can.
know. Yep. So Word Prowse right there for 6.5 million. And on the left hand side of midfield, I really like this guy from Leeds United, Rafinha.
Yep.
He is absolutely very, very exciting. I see he has a lot of pace, skill. He reminds me a little bit of how Nani used to play, a bit of combination, lots of skill. He's able to go down the flanks, provide good passes into the box, and hopefully the strikers will score. So Rafinha costed the same as Ward-Prowse, 6.5 million as well. So I
Wow.
thought, I thought that was a good price for
Yeah,
such a
he's a
player of his
great player,
caliber.
great player, great player. I would love him at Liverpool. Yeah.
Yep. And up front, Alan Saint Maximan.
Maxima
Maximan. Okay, part of the reason why I chose him was because I like his name.
name, yes,
you
purely
know,
because of the name. Let's
you
face it.
know,
Yep.
yeah, but I have to say that he has been one of the standout players for Newcastle last season, because obviously he's got great goals. He's pacey. He's skillful. Okay, it's only a matter of time before he actually becomes a player that's going to join the elites. It's only a matter of time. He just needs to play for the right club. As of now, of course, with Newcastle, but I think he's going to be absolutely brilliant. So he cost about 6.5 million as well. So I thought it was a good investment to put this, him in my team. When I say put investment, it's as if I'm taking out real money to buy him. It feels so good. But yeah, it's fantasy football. It felt absolutely amazing.
It's all about fantasizing in fantasy
Yeah,
football. So
yeah, it's all
fantasize as
about
much as you want, my
fantasizing.
friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And last but not the least, Harry, we have got Harry Kane. Obviously, we don't know what is
I'm
his
really
current
surprised. I'm
situation,
really
right?
surprised you went for him because I mean, yeah, he gets you goals and assists, of course, right? He's the best, but he's
Yep,
expensive. Number one and number
yep,
two, you just don't know where he's going to be, man. No one knows. Where's Harry Kane? We
yep.
still don't know. So
No
yeah,
one knows. No one knows. But I have a feeling he will stay in the Premier League. So I believe he will be a good addition to the team. Yes, he is expensive. 12.5 million, the most expensive player in my squad. So I chose him because if you look at the flank players, of course, when they put the ball in, he can actually get the goals in. So the support is there, the defense is there, and of course the attacking players. Which of course, yes, Harry, I do agree with you. I picked him very early on when I actually went on to when I was actually on fantasy Premier League. But I had a feeling that he would still stay in Spurs. But hey, we don't know what's going to happen. So if anything changes, obviously I have to change. So
yep,
you guys tell us, who do you think should be a good replacement for Harry Kane? If I can't get the right player. So very quickly, Harry, on my substitute bench, if I'm going to say I got Melia from Leeds as the goalkeeper.
yep,
He was £5 million.
it's good. Yep,
Uh, Ailing from Leeds, of course,
same quality.
he
Yep,
quality as well, 4.5 million. I've got Yarmolenko from West Ham. I really like this player. Of course, Euros, he could possibly alternate, in the squad. So yes, 5.5 million. And of course, Pookie. I love saying
that's a
his
good.
name.
It's a good point, man, Ram. Because I was actually going to say that, right, guys. I
Yeah.
mean, let us know who's got a better team. I think I still got a better team than Ram, but hey, guys, up to you
Uh,
guys. I think I still have a better team, but well, you guys decide. Let us know your thoughts as well. I
I
think
think I
there's
think
some
my team
interesting.
is evenly balanced. Okay, all
Yeah,
the way from top to bottom. I think it's evenly balanced, not fully star-studded, but it has some elements that could surprise you.
possibly. I mean, I've got to say, some of your choices are brilliant, but I think mine has a
Thank
lot
you.
more from fantasy experience. Mine has a lot more assists and goals in it, which is why I've gone
Yeah.
for that side. So, but yeah, I mean, great. Some of the choices were brilliant. I've got to say, I was just about to mention some wild cards for the viewers out there. players you want to consider, Timu Puki, I think, is a great shout for Norwich because he will always get goals. So he's a great choice. The other one from Norwich that's worth looking at, guys, is a guy called Milot Rashica. He comes from the Bundesliga. They've just signed him. I think he's only about 5.5 or something. But he's just been bought from the Bundesliga. He's a very talented winger. So maybe someone you guys may want to have a look at as well on that front. Of course, Jack Grealish, but he's going to be expensive if you guys are keen on someone like Jack Grealish. I was actually going to put Emiliano Buendia in my team, and I think he will be in my team in the future, but he's a doubt for this weekend, which is why I didn't have him in. But I think at some point I'm going to introduce Emiliano Buendia into my team because I think he's a quality player. So yeah, great shout. I liked Souček, by the way, Ram. That's a great shout because the good thing about Souček in a fantasy team, West Ham keep clean sheets. So he's good that way, but he also gets goals. He goes up, he scores lots of headers.
Absolutely.
So I think he will score. Yeah, he'll score points with clean sheets. He will get points with assists and goals as well. So great shout. So yeah, guys, let us know your comments. Let us know your feedback as well. But that's our fantasy teams to start with. And we want to know yours as well. Let us know what your fantasy teams are.
Exactly. Absolutely. And, we are more than happy to have more of such episodes in relation to the Fantasy Football League. But hey, we need you guys to share with us your team. Tell us what you have. What are the tips that you can share with everyone? Let's make this very interactive. Let's make this fun.
Let us know if there are any wild cards, guys. Any players out there that you think are a good deal that we should consider, that people should consider. Because I think there are lots of new teams in the Premier League. There are lots of new signings as well. So any knowledge, any information on some players that could be good wild cards, let us know as well. But guys, drop a like, hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel. We've got some extremely exciting episodes coming up, including a very interesting tactical episode that we've got with a guest who's an analyst, a football analyst as well. So stay tuned for that. But Ram, over to you, man.
Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, sharing our teams for the Fantasy Premier League. As I said, it's my first time really going all in on it. So do help me, share with me your tips, share with Hari as well. And of course, let's have fun. So, of course, signing off from the Plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans. The Premier League's back, coming back, guys.
Yeah. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification button, watch our playlist, and of course, the next video. Do support us because it will help us do better. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
And yeah, guys, do hit the bell notification as well so you're notified of our upcoming episodes. And stay tuned as we've got some really exciting episodes coming up. Cheers.
Yeah.